The Whitmore estate held its breath like a cathedral of glass and money, chandeliers trembling with the hum of quiet machines, marble floors polished so bright they mirrored the sky. Sophia stepped through the threshold with a second-hand suitcase and a note that said, Room 3F, start today. Her shoes squeaked, then fell silent. New girl, Evelyn muttered, the head housekeeper in a crisp navy dress. Don't wander, don't talk too much, and don't get ideas. She tilted her chin toward the east wing. The boy is there, born paralyzed, they say he never moves. Sophia's knuckles tightened around the suitcase handle. What's his name? Michael, Evelyn said, snapping a glove into place. You dust, you wash, you don't hope. In the east wing, the lights were too white, the air too cold, monitors blinked soft green. A wheelchair faced a window where the gardens lay like quilted emerald. A boy, 12, maybe. Hair dark as wet ink, eyes following something only he could see. Sophia paused at the doorway, then softened her stance. She'd helped her little brother through shutdowns and storms when the world got too loud. She recognized the breath that gets trapped in the ribs, the flinch at buzzing lights, the hunger for patterns only the heart can hear. Hi, Michael, she whispered. I'm Sophia. Silence, a distant fountain clicked through a sequence. 2 seconds on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. The rhythm echoed in Michael's eyes. He blinked. 2, 1, 2, then stared at her hand. Sophia felt it, the pull of a pattern, the tiniest current running beneath the surface of still water. Emma, the therapist, appeared with a tablet hugged to her chest. We keep stimuli controlled, she said, kind but tired. He doesn't tolerate unpredictability. Please don't change anything. John, head of security, loomed behind her, a wall in a suit. No experiments. Robert Whitmore, the billionaire, passed the doorway without slowing, a cold nod, a colder phone pressed to his ear. The kind of man who made decisions with numbers, not nights. Sophia edged closer to the window. Do you like the sound outside? She asked softly. I do, it's like the garden is breathing. Michael blinked again. 2, 1, 2, his fingers, curled on the armrest, trembled like a leaf that hadn't decided whether to fall. Sophia leaned in, heartbeat loud in her ears. She could almost hear it. A conversation, not in words but in rhythm and light. Don't, Evelyn hissed from the hall. You'll upset him. Sophia straightened, arched a brow, then turned back to the boy, a whisper. If you want me to stay, tap once. A stillness, a long, fragile stillness that felt like the space between thunder and rain. Then, the faintest sound, a soft click of nail against plastic, one single tap. Sophia swallowed. The mansion didn't blink, but she did. Hard, twice, then once, then twice, and Michael watched her like someone who had finally found the other end of a string. What if the story everyone believed was wrong? What if Paralyzed wasn't the whole truth at all? Morning came wrapped in polished schedules, trays, charts, timers, everything controlled. Follow the care plan, Emma said, tapping the tablet. Same light level, same chair position, same harness tension. He can't support his trunk, the brace prevents slumping. Sophia nodded, and looked, really looked, at the harness. The fabric dug into Michael's clavicle. Faint red half-moons pressed into his skin like unkind fingerprints. She angled the blinds, letting warmth touch the floor in a golden ladder. Is this okay? She asked him. Just a little sun. Emma hesitated. 10 minutes. John checked his watch, his earpiece, the camera in the corner. 9, he said, and the word fell like a lock clicking. Evelyn sniffed. Don't start believing your feelings are medicine, dear. Sophia said nothing. She noticed something else instead. The wheelchair's wheels were clean. Too clean. No scuffs, no dust lines. A chair moved only to be polished doesn't learn the house's geography. Michael, she whispered, if you like the sun, blink twice. 2 slow blinks, deliberate as door knocks. She risked the tiniest adjustment, a millimeter of slack in the shoulder strap. The skin beneath it sighed pink to normal. Michael exhaled in a breath that rattled and settled. His fingers opened. Not much, but enough to turn a knuckle into a comma instead of a period. Stop, Evelyn barked, swooping in, retightening. Protocols exist for a reason. Comfort exists for a reason too, Sophia murmured, more to the air than to anyone alive. Emma looked at Michael's face, then at Sophia. If he cries, we tighten again. He didn't cry, Sophia said, he sighed. Robert's footsteps cut the room. I fund the best care in the world, he said, not unkind, just far away. Don't waste time on hope. Sophia finally met his eyes. Hope isn't a waste, sir, it's data we haven't measured yet. That night, the house slept in polished silence. Sophia didn't. She remembered her brother. The day she noticed sirens on TV hurt him and the spin cycle soothed him. she learned to listen with her shoulders and her teeth, to feel noise in the bones. She returned to the east wing with permission from no one and a blanket with small glass beads sewn inside. Wait like a hug, not a trap. It helps nervous systems that live at full volume, she whispered. May I? Michael's eyes tracked the blanket, then her face. 2 blinks, 1, 2. Sophia laid the blanket across his lap, the tremor in his fingers faded. A small movement traveled from his wrist to his elbow like a fish testing current. Her breath hitched. She watched. She didn't speak. She let the room listen to him. Outside, the fountain clicked its code. Inside, Michael's toes twitched beneath the line of the brace. Tiny as a rumor, but there. A door opened down the hall. Evelyn's silhouette cut the light. You, she said. And your little blanket, office now. Sophia glanced at Michael. 1 tap if I should come back. 1, clear as a bell. The mansion made its rules, but Michael had just made a promise. What happens when the person with the least power starts keeping the truest score? Evelyn's office smelled like lemon polish and thin patience. You are here to clean, miss? Sophia, right, you are not a nurse, not a therapist, not a hero. Evelyn's smile had edges. Families like this survive on rules, not on stories from poor girls who think they feel things others can't. Sophia folded her hands. I didn't come to be a hero, she said. I came to notice. Notice all you like, Evelyn said. Just don't touch. Back in the corridor, John blocked her path. If you break protocol, you're out. What if the protocol is breaking him? Sophia asked. Not your call, John answered, but his eyes flicked, just once, toward the camera. He was a guard with a secret he didn't know how to carry. Sophia returned to Michael at noon. May I check the chair? Emma hovered, conflicted. 5 minutes. Sophia crouched, fingers mapping bolts and levers. Her attention snagged on the wheel lock. It was banded with a small clear zip tie, almost invisible, as if someone wanted the brake to be permanent, not optional. Is that standard? She asked. Emma frowned. It shouldn't be. John stepped in too fast. Safety measure after a scare last year. What scare? A tip from PR, Evelyn said from the doorway, suddenly there, always listening. He slid once. Cameras were around. We do not make headlines with accidents. Sophia's jaw tightened. He didn't slide today, he reached. Robert arrived, gravity in a dark suit. What is this? The maid is improvising, Evelyn replied, smooth as glass. Sophia inhaled. Sir, I need 1 hour. Let me create a quiet room, soften the light, loosen the strap 1 notch, and free the brake. If he cannot initiate even a tiny movement, I'll never ask again. Robert considered, numbers moving behind his eyes. 30 minutes, Evelyn bristled. Robert, 30, he repeated, and the floor seemed to tilt. Just a degree, but enough. Sophia worked quickly, pulled a lampshade across the window so the sun became honey, not blade, turned off the overhead hum, slid the weighted blanket to his ankles so his knees felt where the floor lived. Then, with a breath she could taste in her mouth, she snipped the zip tie. The brake lever trembled into freedom. Michael, she whispered, if your legs feel awake today, push a little, not a lot, just a hello. The room held its lungs. At first, nothing, then, a ripple in his thigh, a nudge, a half-inch of wheel roll, soundless but seismic. Emma's hand flew to her mouth. John's knuckles went white. Evelyn's eyes sharpened like knives that had found a reason to cut. Robert stepped closer. Again, his voice lower, less certain. Michael exhaled a thin, steady breath. Heel pressed. Will murmured forward a whisper. Sophia smiled, tears hot and bright. Hi, you're here. Michael blinked. Twice, once, twice, he was sending the whole house a message. Not paralyzed, but pinned, not silent, but unheard. Evelyn's smile evaporated. Coincidence, she snapped. Reflex. Emma shook her head. That's initiation. Why would someone choose a story that keeps a child still? Who benefits when a brake is tied down and called care? Robert demanded records. All of them. Binders thudded on a mahogany table. Pages fluttered. Monitors blinked. The printer coughed up history. Emma traced charts with her finger. Sedation doses are high, she whispered, stacked for comfort before public events. Sophia felt the room tilt again, this time like an elevator opening on the wrong floor. Public events? Evelyn kept her face serene. Press days, donors, we protect him from distress. We also protect the family from scrutiny. John shifted, eyes darker than the suit. I was told to make the cameras go away. By who? Robert asked, voice quiet in a dangerous way. Evelyn didn't blink. By everyone who knows how fragile a reputation can be. Sophia slid a folder free. It was a schedule, color-coded like a rainbow that had forgotten how to be beautiful. Lights, straps, meds, quiet time marked like a fence around every hour. She turned the page and found an old incident report. The scare, a tiny slip, a bruise, and a week-long storm of PR emails. The solution had been more control, not better listening. "Sir," Sophia said, lifting her phone. "I recorded today, may I show you?" Robert's jaw flexed. "Show me." The video was simple, soft light, a child breathing, a wheel whispering forward, and a voice. Hers, steady as a drumline, inviting, not forcing. Robert watched twice, then again, as if the truth kept arriving in smaller pieces his heart could survive. "It didn't cure anything," Sophia said, careful. "He is autistic, that doesn't need curing, but the way we're restraining him, sedating him, is drowning whatever movement he has." Emma nodded, eyes wet. "We can taper safely, consult neurology, physical therapy, rebuild his environment for regulation, not restraint." Evelyn's composure cracked, a hairline fracture. "You will destroy this family's image." Robert turned to her, years of distance collapsing like scaffolding made of pride. "My son is not an image." John spoke to the table, not to anyone. "I thought keeping everything locked made us safe." Sophia glanced at Michael through the glass. He was watching the door, waiting for the world to walk in the right way. Robert exhaled, a sound like a man unbuttoning armor. "Do it," he told Emma. "Call whoever we need." He looked at Sophia, something softer now in his eyes. "And you, don't leave." Evelyn's mouth thinned. "This is reckless." "It's honest," Sophia said, and for once, the word didn't feel small in a big house, it felt like a key. They moved fast and careful. A physician adjusted plans, the sedations reduced under supervision, strap tension measured to comfort instead of control, lights warmed, sounds gentled, weighted blanket transformed from contraband to standard. That night, Sophia sat beside Michael and let the fountain count the seconds. "You must be so tired," she whispered, "of being held in a story that wasn't yours." He blinked. 2, 1, 2, and then tapped his nail, 3 times, deliberate, like knocking on a door he intended to open. When the truth finally arrives, does everyone know how to hold it, or does someone try to lock it back up? Morning light gathered like a choir on the windowpane. The house felt different, less armored, more awake. Emma entered with a small smile and a new plan. "We'll try supported standing today." John stood by the door, shoulders less square, as if he'd laid down a burden he didn't know he carried. Robert came without his phone, just his hands, just his eyes. Sophia knelt. "Michael," she said, voice steady. "We'll move very slowly, only as far as you say. 2 blinks, 1, 2. They transferred with care, a standing frame that met him where he was, not where a photograph said he should be. The room breathed with them, in, out. "Weighted blanket ready," Emma murmured. "Timer off." "Break free," John said quietly, a benediction, not a rule. Sophia placed his feet, her palms warm on his shins. "If your body feels like waking up, press into the floor." Michael's eyes found hers, a spark. Not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakable. A pressure traveled from his chest to his thigh to his heel, the smallest push, the kind that would be missed if you were looking for a miracle instead of a person. The frame shared the load. Emma's hand steadied, John's breath broke. Robert covered his mouth. Another push, a quiver in his knees like a shy word finally spoken. His face changed. Concentration, effort, intent. Sophia laughed, a bright, startled sound. "There you are." He blinked twice. A tear slid the length of Robert's cheek, slow as winter light. "Michael," Robert said, voice torn and whole at the same time. "I'm here, I'm really here," Emma whispered. "That's active weight-bearing." Evelyn stood in the hallway, not entering, her hand on the doorframe like a person who's reached the edge of a map. The story she had managed so neatly had become porous, and real air was getting in. They eased him back into the chair, no rush, no spectacle, just the quiet triumph of a nervous system allowed to be itself. Sophia tucked the blanket over his lap. "What do you want next?" she asked. "Sun? Music? Garden?" Michael blinked, then turned his gaze to the piano in the corner. A white wail of an instrument no one had played in years. Robert looked at Sophia, a question more than an order for once. She nodded, sat at the bench, laid gentle chords into the morning. Not fancy, not clever, just steady. 2, 1, 2. Answering the fountain with the same language Michael had been speaking all along. The boy lifted his hand, slow as dawn, and set his palm on the piano's lacquered edge. His fingers curled, relaxed, curled again. His body was not cured, but it was claimed. His story was not rewritten, but it was returned. Robert knelt, not a billionaire now, just a father. "Thank you," he said, to Sophia, to Emma, to John, but mostly to the boy who had waited longer than anyone had the courage to admit. Sophia pressed her lips together so her heart wouldn't spill out. "You did this," she told Michael. "We just moved the weights." Outside, the fountain kept time. Inside, a new rhythm took its place. Not perfect, not even, but living. Beat. If a house can learn to listen, can a world? In moments when power and image clash with care, what do you believe matters most? And have you ever seen a truth hidden by good intentions? Share your story in the comments and tell us what detail, however small, finally changed the room.